Hello, welcome. Ed Reiner here, and this is a daily dose of mind stuff, your daily dose of personal, professional development for happiness, healthy, wealthy life. I am Ed Reiner, and we are on day, there it goes again. Since I got this new monitor, my mic is now going over the top, and it likes to raise up on its own. So always something funny going on when you are live. So welcome for those that are joining me live. Once again, I'm Ed Reiner, and this is Daily Dose of Mind Stuff. This is day 33. So we've made it past 30 days. I've been going 100 days, and I just noticed that there, my little lid there was wasn't all the way up. So once again, all these little things that when you're going live, you just never know what to expect. We've been going into a lot of Bob Proctor's paradigm shift and these segments that I've been studying on a daily basis. So for those that are new joining me, Daily Dose of Mind Stuff is the things that I study on a daily basis. It's my mind stuff that I've been studying. I study every day. Right now, I've been going through videos. In the future, on episodes, I may be just going into a book that I start to study. But these are the things that I study every day as a Proctor Gallagher consultant, as a person that's going after a big goal and gaining awareness, expanding my awareness to help me reach those goals. We have to continually study because it's through the repetition of ideas that we change the paradigm, which is a multitude of habits. And that's what it all really boils down to, is making a paradigm shift. So in this segment, Bob is going to be talking about the importance of a decision. And he's going to talk on frequencies, vibrations, levels of frequencies, which he went over a little bit before, but he's going to go into that again. So let's go ahead and pop over there. And I will see you guys on the flip side.
I'm going to show you something about a decision that most people never in their whole life learn. And that's why there's only about 5% of the population that are winning. I want you to start thinking of what you want. Now think of this. Every thought is hooked up to the one above and the one below. We've already covered that. They're all hooked up. Let's suppose that represents my phone and this represents your phone. I can get onto the same frequency as you if I have your number. We seem to have a basic understanding of this when using phones. However, when it comes to life, we get lost. We know how this works. Now, we may not be engineers and don't really get into it, but I know if I've got your phone number in there, and I hit send, doesn't matter where you are. I'll reach you. Now, you may not answer the phone, but your phone will be reached. And if you get on the phone, you could be in Singapore, and I'm right here in LA. Didn't think where I was. Then we're going to communicate successfully. You know, you can do that without a phone. It's called telepathic communication. And some people are very good at it. I'm sort of good at it. Now watch. We understand that with the phone. Now let's pay attention here. Let these lines represent levels of vibration. Levels of vibration are referred to as frequencies. Now we think on frequencies. Now I want you to just think of your life. Forget about everything else and forget about me. Just listen and get the picture of your life. You are thinking right now on this frequency. This would be the frequency you're thinking on, and so that dictates the results you're getting. You cannot get results beyond your level of thinking. as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. James Allen said, mind is the master power that molds and makes, and man is mind. And evermore he takes the tool of thought and shaping what he wills, he brings forth 1,000 joys or 1,000 ills. We think in secret, but it comes to pass. Environment is but our looking glass. You don't have a difficult time to tell what a person's thinking like. Look at their results. Watch the way they move. See how they treat people. Now look at, we'll say, that's where I am, and that's where I really want to go. And you're talking to them and say, yeah, that's exactly where I want to go. Well, why don't you go there? I'm going to. I'm making a decision. That's what I'm going to do as soon as I get the money. Yeah. I'm going to do that as soon as the kids are out of school. That's when I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that right after the first of the year. That's when I'm going to do it, when this changes. You know what happens? Pretty soon the decision fades and dies. It's only a short period of time later that the goal fades and dies. Why? Because the person's thinking on this frequency. And the goal that they require, the goal they want, it requires them to think up here on this frequency. I can't get you on the phone if I'm phoning my brother. Well, you can't get the goal if you're down here thinking the same way. And you say, well, when I get the money, I'll start doing it. When I get the help, I'll start doing it. When she agrees with me, I'll start. Sorry, doesn't work that way, Jack. You got to do it. You got to step up and do it. Here's what you got to do. You got to say, I am going to make a committed decision. This I will do. This I'll do. I sat in a den in a house on Maplewood Lane in Glenview, Illinois. I took this pen and I wrote, I'm going to build a company that operates all over the world. I had absolutely no idea how I was going to do it. No idea how I was going to do it. Didn't have any help. I had a little bit of money, but sure not enough to do what I was going to do. But I was committed. I had studied this long enough. I was doing exactly what it was saying as far as I was concerned. You think and act like the person you want to become. Now, back up. You're down there. The second you make a committed decision, you got to think and act like the person you want to become. When you do that, you get thinking on that higher frequency. When you're thinking up there, you start to hear and see things that you never would have seen. Everything that's necessary will happen. It's like I told John and Pat in the Born Rich book. They wanted to buy a house, and I said, go buy one. They said, we can't buy a house. We don't have any money. I said, you don't need any money. They looked at me rather strange, and I said, you haven't made a decision to buy the house. What the hell do you need the money for? Have you any idea the number of people that are wrestling with the idea about buying the house, building the business, taking the trip, because they're not sure they'll have enough when the time comes? Well, if they don't make a committed decision, they can pretty well bank on the fact they won't have what it needs when the time comes. But if they make a committed decision, it will be there. Ask and you'll receive. Now look at. Want is the only prerequisite for making a decision. That's the only thing. Do you want to do it? Then make a decision you're going to do it. Doesn't matter about the money, the help, whether you know how. None of that matters. It's, do you want it? If you want it, if you really want it, make the decision. Do you know what salespeople are? Great salespeople, they're want creators. They keep fitting an idea to people and they keep jiggling that higher side of them, get expanding their mind. That's why successful people make decisions so fast. Carnegie tested Hill. He gave him 60 seconds to answer a question that he would take on a project for 20 years. That's also why Dr. Werner von Braun answered John Kennedy when he said, what it would take us to build a rocket that will carry a person to the moon, bring him back safely to Earth. He said the will to do it. That's all it takes. He didn't say you'd need money, engineers, rocket scientists, none of that. Just the will to do it. See, von Braun knew if you fell in love with an idea and you held that idea on the screen of your mind, you'll attract everything that's required. That's all you need to get done what you want, the will to do it. It's like when I asked Anders, how do you create an illusion? You start with something that's impossible, and then you work backwards. And they figure it out. There's Kennedy, and there's the good doctor. He's considered the father of the space program. And he answered Kennedy the will to do it. That's all you require. Now, your paradigm may be so strong that you can't operate on that. And if you can't, you're going to stay where you are. This idea is better to be safe than sorry is a bunch of nonsense. It's not better to be safe than sorry at all. You got to bet on you. Quit asking the guy next door, your brother-in-law, what they think. They probably don't think. They don't. But I'll tell you one thing, I'll bet they have an opinion. You got to control the flow. Make the decision. Discipline yourself to act on it.
So the only prerequisite is, do you want it? You've got to have a want. And that's what we've been talking about since we started this, is what is it that you want? You have to have something that you're going after, a burning desire, something that you want. Once you have the want, this is the biggest thing, is making a decision. And so he had that screen with all of the vibrations, all of the levels. And up here, and actually it'll be over here, he had the star with the goal. That's your want, right? So you have your want, and then you're down over here moving. This is backwards. Moving that way. No, you're moving that way. Seeing myself on the camera is backwards from what I want to be doing. Anyway, you have the goal. You're down on a different level of vibration. Now, this works with anything. The goal is the want. Sometimes people mistake the goal and just automatically think it has to be something about business or money or whatever. But to put it a different way, I'll relate it to someone trying to quit smoking. That's the goal. They know they want to quit. They should quit. I take it back to when I stopped smoking. I smoked for years, over 20 some years. And I would, a lot of times, like most people, I'm going to quit. Yep, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to quit this coming January, first of the year. I'm done. I'm quitting. The decision was never made. It was always something that was based on circumstance. Like he had that arrow going. It was going, you're going to make a decision, and then it goes back down. Goes back and forth, back and forth. I'm going to do this after I finish this pack. I'm going to stop smoking after this pack is gone. I'm going to stop smoking next week. On Monday, I'm going to start. I'm going to stop. After the first of the year, nope, I'm done. That never works. And I tried for years to stop smoking. And it wasn't until one day I made a decision. I made a committed decision and said, you know what? I'm done. I didn't have any circumstances, if this or when this happens or this or that. It was, I'm done now. I'm not doing it ever again. And I never did. I didn't have to get a patch. I didn't get anything. I created an affirmation. I changed that paradigm by giving myself a new paradigm to work with. And I repeated an affirmation every day until that old paradigm of smoking died from lack of nourishment and just went away. I didn't have bad cravings. I was around people that were smoking. It didn't bother me because I made a committed decision. And that's the power of a committed decision. When we make it, we start to then look for the things that are going to help us get us to the goal. We start operating and thinking on that higher frequency that's in harmony and in resonance with our goal. So look back on your life, see what things that you have done and trace it back, connect the dots. Like he said, moving backwards, you can connect the dots and see where you made decisions. You can see when you've accomplished something and look back and go, oh yeah, that's where I made the decision. That's where everything changed. And then we just need to do that in our lives now with whatever we're going after. So again, repetition is the mother of all learning. You want to watch this video again, watch this lesson again. All of these lessons are super powerful and they can change your lives if you let them, and if you take the information and direct it towards a goal and then go out and act on the ideas that's presented. If you don't act on it and you don't do anything, then you're just gathering a bunch of information and you're just enjoying it on the intellectual level. We want to take this information and put it down into the subconscious level. We want to get emotionally involved with these ideas, direct them towards our goal, and then start moving in that direction. And wonderful things will start to happen. So that is all the time that I'm going to spend today on this. I want to thank you for joining me. If you got value out of this, like, share, follow, all of that jazz that you normally do when people tell you to do at the end of these videos. You know what to do. See you again tomorrow. I'll be going around the same time. Well, reverse that. Tomorrow is Friday and Saturday. I'm sorry, Saturday and Sunday, the weekend. I will be coming on, but it's going to be later. I won't come on in the morning. I've got prior engagements, but I still am committed to going live every day. So tomorrow is going to be later, probably around 4:30 or 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So just watch. I will put up a notice when I have the time down, and we'll schedule it so you'll see the little notice card pop up. But this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, which will be the 30th and the 1st, I believe, is going to be an evening session, but I still will be live, and then I will be back at doing it more in the morning. So thanks for joining me. this is Ed Reiner with the Daily Dose of Mind Stuff. You guys have a fantastic rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace. God bless.